I love messed up movies. Saw is a guilty pleasure of mine that I enjoy watching. I just love some good old torture every once in a while, if you feel me. I have grown up with weird movies that make other kids cry and give them nightmares because it is something that gives me pleasure. I was 8 when Coraline came out, and every kid hated it. And I was over here living for it. I loved everything creepy, and no movie terrified me, except for one. The 1985 film Return to Oz is the scariest shit I have ever witnessed. Monster House, Coraline, Halloween, The Shining, they'll have nothing on Return to Oz. The masterpiece that is The Wizard of Oz has its moments of terror for sure. The flying monkeys are a little creepy, and the makeup of some of the characters, the Tin Man, is very unsettling. However, it does not prepare you for the horror that is quote-unquote sequel. The nightmare takes place after the events of Wizard of Oz, even though Dorothy has miraculously aged down from the first film. Anyways, we open the film with Aunt Em and Uncle Henry taking their niece, Dorothy, to a mental institution where she almost receives not therapy or counseling for her delusions, but electroshock. They tried to give an 11-year-old electroshock. Surprisingly, they didn't give her a lobotomy. Maybe it would have worked out better. Maybe it's less cinematic. Actually, no, it is more cinematic. I take that back. Thankfully, they never got around to giving her the nightmarish treatment because the power went out. Thank God. Anyways, Dorothy and some other girl in the institution try to escape in the middle of the night. They get to a river and fall into, whatever. The girl drowns, and all Dorothy can do is chill with some chickens. This is where we meet the stand-in for Toto. For this movie, it's woman's best friend, the chicken. If you thought the electroshock therapy was horrific, just wait for the rest of this thing. Everything you loved about The Wizard of Oz is dead in this movie. It basically turns all the fantasy and magical world into a hellscape. As soon as Dorothy gets to the deserted Emerald City, you know you're in for a real treat. Especially when the rats of the city roll in. And believe me, I wish these were rats. But unfortunately, they're not. This is The Wizard of Oz. There's no rats in this thing, unless you're talking about the Muppets Wizard of Oz. Flying monkeys were scary, yes, but wheelers are what haunt you in your dreams. Wheelers maybe not look, but they talk like normal human beings, but they have fucking wheels for hands and feet. I guess they're born that way, which makes it even more disturbing somehow. And I hate it. They look like the Who's from Whoville, the flying monkeys from the first movie, and a bicycle had a threesome, and one of them had a baby. This is a Disney movie. To escape the Satan spawns they had in this library building, I'm not entirely sure. We then meet the knockoff Tin Man named TikTok. This guy, who is the robot version of the general from those car insurance commercials, tells them they have to save the Scarecrow from the Lincoln Memorial's evil brother. Is it the Scarecrow from the original Wizard of Oz, or is it a new Scarecrow? I honestly don't know. They never really explain it all that well. I mean, I guess you have to assume since the Cowardly Lion and actual Tin Man are dead or whatever. Oh well. Now we get to what I believe is the scariest part of this thing. The princess. Forget the electroshock. Forget the ruined Emerald City. I know it's hard, but forget the wheelers. Because what this whole scene is nightmare fuel. You think this princess is all sweet and nice, right? You're thinking, wow, this woman is real nice. She's gonna help me save my friend, the Scarecrow, or this random guy who is Scarecrow, but who I have no relation to. Again, not clear. Then she leads you down this hallway of heads, and you're thinking, fuck this shit, I'm out. Let me tell you. I still cannot watch this scene because it gives me nightmares to this day. Not many things scare me, but this is the scariest thing I've ever seen. She takes her head and puts it in a case. But do you know where she got the fucking heads from? She got it from the dead people from the Emerald City. What is this? But that's not even the worst part. Dorothy devises a plan to escape, which is to build Santa's sleigh with a moose head that talks, might I add. But the powder to make the sleigh fly is in a case next to one of the heads. Dorothy goes to retrieve this thing, but accidentally wakes up a head. all hell breaks loose and the heads all start screaming at her, and the headless body of the princess tries to chase after her, and it's all the scariest thing imaginable, and I hate it. Oh my gosh, I can't even. I still to this day cannot watch this scene because it freaks me out. Forgot to mention that we meet this scary-ass pumpkin dude at the princess's place, too. I don't quite understand his relevance to the plot, but I guess he's here to party now. Stuff happens, blah, 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 and they end up at the demonic rocks. There's this guy who is made of rocks who smokes these rock pipes. Once again, nightmare fuel. And his minions have their faces in the rocks, and they all have to talk to each other, and they, no thank you. No thank you. There's like this whole guessing game plot where Dorothy has to guess which random objects her friends are, and it's weird and not important to what I'm trying to get across. Anyway, we get to the final battle. Demon Rocks turn into an even scarier version of himself with these realistic eyeballs. You can't be made of rocks with human eyeballs. It just doesn't work. He's all scary and picks up Dorothy's new pumpkin friend to eat him. But Dorothy's chicken Toto is in the pumpkin head guy and lays an egg. Rock guy is a vegan and can't eat eggs from chicken, so he dies. After he dies, the entirety of Oz is made to look nice again. Dorothy awakens back in Kansas where we see the real Toto. After all these traumatic events, Dorothy becomes a witch and creates a coven in the sequel to this movie, which is called The Craft. Hey, I know this is something really different from what I normally do on this channel, but I've been wanting to make a commentary video for a while now. I just decided to do it, and I have a couple other ideas of videos that I would like to do like this. Let me know if this type of video is appealing. Thanks, bye.